Welcome, welcome, one story.
We haven't seen each other for.
We haven't seen each other. It's been sad. I've missed you.
So it's 7 days.
7 days.
Because I saw you on the Wednesday, then I went on my course Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
I'm going to take the hats off. I don't like it.
So it's been 7 days.
7 days. Oh, do you know what? I felt it though. I've missed you. Have you missed me?
It's, yeah.
It'd be awkward if you said no.
I know, could you imagine?
I know. Well, you wouldn't really if someone said.
But I feel like I was more busy to miss anybody.
Right, Lisa, what have you been up to? Can you tell us? Because we've been putting you on the stories, and I thought let's talk about it a little bit more.
Okay.
About what we're both doing and what's new.
So my old lady dream, even though everybody tells me I'm not an old lady, is to be an EFT practitioner.
Okay.
And so EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. It's a form of tapping. I already did my basic qualification 2 years ago, and I just needed to get this done. I needed to get this smashed out. So it was 5 days of learning to deal with trauma, and specifically goes back to childhood. It's like doing mushrooms without doing mushrooms. It's the only way I can explain it. So in your subconscious, you've got all this stuff that you've remembered as a child. So I released trauma on this course that I never even knew existed.
Oh my God.
And he started tapping me on my back pain that I've had for 10 years. And then he was like, okay, what's going on? How long have you had this back pain?
Are you and you're
I'm tapping as well. He taps on you a little bit and he kind of guides you. Then I just burst into tears.
Wow.
And it was so bad that the room got like 30 people in it, and I had to be taken out of the room to be dealt with by another EFT practitioner because I couldn't control myself in the room. And it all went back to a childhood memory that was when my mum and dad split up. Some kid in the street that I didn't probably even know, and I was 5, so I don't remember who it was. Some kid in the street said, some kid in the street said, your mum and dad are splitting up and your mum's running off a cliff. From another child.
But do you feel that that's ever affected you though?
And the thing that's affected me more than anything is my dad went to live with my brother and I stayed with my mum. And so as a 5-year-old sibling, I was separated from my brother that day.
Right, okay.
Because then on a weekend they alternated. Yogi's in the show. Off you go. Off you go, Yogi Bear. Off you go. So I've had an issue that I've known about, but I didn't know how deep rooted it was, and I didn't know where it came from. I've had this issue, and look, most people these days, you know, mums and dads, what is it? I don't even know what the statistic is, but hi, Charles, and your mum and dad splitting up, and how you deal with that has an impact in you as a child, and then it's going to have an impact on you in later life. My issue with all of this is I don't like being on my own.
Okay.
And so I've dealt with it. I've not dealt with every image, but you go in and you see yourself as a younger child, and you tap that younger child and you calm them down.
It's mad, isn't it? Because at the time, and like people, you know, this is happening all the time. Like years and years ago, and currently right now, this happens. People break up.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because you don't realise what it's doing to the children there and then.
100%.
Even not even talking about breakup, in life in general, whatever behaviour you do, you don't understand what it's doing to the children until they're older. And now all of a sudden
it has an impact.
Like, oh right, wow. When I was 3 years old, my mum was going. Do you see what I mean? It all comes back.
Yeah.
My mum and dad broke up when I was 8. I don't know if that's a certain, because different ages in life, isn't it? Isn't it like from 3 to 5 is the, what is it?
So it could be, well, it's the first 12 months initially as a baby is born, but on the course we learn that even though a baby is 6 months old, there is this absorption of their subconscious that takes place from, you know, energy that you give off as parents. And there's stuff that they put into their subconscious like a filing cabinet, but a child's core belief, so my core belief was I'm alone and I have to do as I'm told. Then my core beliefs are instilled in you before the age of 6.
Right.
So when you're tapping on somebody that, you know, is maybe suffering with this issue at work and they don't know what's going on and they're having a meltdown, you tap them and it always takes them back to a childhood memory.
Wow.
Tell me about a time when you felt this at the earliest age, and then this memory pops into their head and they're like, oh my God, I was 5. Memory came up for me yesterday when I moved into a flat with my mum. Had that memory, I never even remembered that I had that memory, and it came out, and it was the first house we moved into without my brother, and I sobbed.
Wow.
But I never knew that bothered me.
No, this is the thing with me, like I'm like,
yeah, so I'm releasing trauma that's in my subconscious that I never knew.
That you
but
had.
even Paul will say, because I have this thing about being on my own, if he goes away with work, he was like, you kick in. Like, you have a problem with being on your own, and when he goes away for 2 days, I then have to go and find people.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you know, I have to, yeah. So basically, you know, if you imagine that you had a really awful traumatic childhood, imagine how that's going to make you feel later in life.
Of course.
So this form of tapping can help with trauma. It goes back to your childhood, addictions,
and release it. Basically, it takes it back, and you change the memory of how it was in your mind.
And if you do enough of it, you change your core belief.
Okay.
So I've started to work on the fact that my core belief is not, look, I don't feel lonely. This sounds dramatic, and it's not dramatic. It's just that I don't like my own company.
Yeah.
And I don't like my own company because I was separated from my sibling at the age of 5.
No, yeah.
Beliefs, we don't know what your core belief is.
No, you don't.
So one of the things that I've also recognised as an adult, if I have a friendship with somebody and that friendship ends, because I've had a couple of people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I've had a couple of friends that have come into my life for clearly a reason or a season and not a lifetime. Yeah. One of them went to Australia, and when she went to Australia, I sobbed for weeks like she died.
Oh wow.
I was all over the place, and it's because it takes you back to that childhood trauma.
Okay.
And this is the problem, is that you're like, oh my God.
And people keep that in and trapped inside.
Like,
and this is why you're doing the tapping.
And
it's going to be good.
I found tapping for different reasons. I had quite a few sessions when Paul worked in Wales. My kids have all had it. Jack's had it for eating. You know, stress, anxiety, depression. There's a whole host of things. PTSD, anything that has been a traumatic situation in later life can still be, you know, bereavement, loss, all of that. It can just, it's all about.
When you build it up, build it up and build it up and build it up.
And one of the fundamental issues with that, with a trauma that's built up and built up. And this is not medicine that we know, this is Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
They believe it's what causes a serious illness.
Wow.
And
like,
so just carrying all that trauma.
But, listen, you know when people, like cancer for an example, right? It's a horrible disease. It's so random, like there's no answer to it, is there? So is this the answer?
So this is going to make your hair stand on end.
Okay.
There's a girl in the room that's just recovered from a cancer, and she wanted to know if it was linked to a reason why. And they had her in the front of the room, tapped on her, and it all went back to she's always been alone, she's always felt isolated, she's always been in a dark place. Her earliest childhood memory, she was 4, sitting in her room on her own, in the dark, and parents just not feeling loved, just feeling isolated, just feeling like she was so alone. And he went back to all of her memories, and all of it is that. And one of the things that they do say in the meta-medicine is that isolation and loneliness and dark places can cause serious illnesses.
But I mean, everyone's different. Not a lot of people are going to believe that, and each to their own. Like, we're not suddenly turning around, but you're learning it. And also, I just want to say, at 51, and you're going off and doing a new adventure. Good for you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm just gonna be your.
I've never known what I wanted to do.
I know. I
found it, and it's just
why
like, oh my God.
I
don't know.
I never know.
Like you need to find your thing.
I've never ever. Do you know what? From even school, like, were you at school? Did you ever? No. You know when you. No. I say it to Rebecca's children now. What did you do when you were older? Yeah, but so did I. I did my qualifications.
So here's one of my core beliefs: pleasing others and doing as I'm told. I did not have the courage to tell my mum I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Oh really? Why?
I mean,
because back in the day, parents were different.
Like,
they expected so much.
She worked in education, and in my head,
saying,
no,
felt that wasn't good enough.
Absolutely not.
Oh wow! Well, no, I love my mum. Never ever made me feel like that. But I know what you mean.
But that might have been in my head from my core belief, because I was raised also 70 child. Do as you're told.
Yeah.
Children should be seen and not heard. No voice, and just basically, just. I don't know, kids in the 70s. But no, I mentioned that to somebody and they were like, I was raised in the 70s, it wasn't the same.
So, okay, right, can I just say, this just came to my head, I was bullied by girls at school, I was bullied by the teacher, and a couple of other people, right, that very close to me, because I struggled with my reading and spelling, and it was like, in the playgrounds, spell this, spell it, spell this, spell that. Teacher putting me on the spot. She used to always go back to me. Like, it was so sad. I remember this so well. You know, like in the classroom back in the day where they would get a book out and everyone would read a line. I would go around and count I'm not at all listening to the story. I'm working myself up. I'm sweating.
Where is that?
I'm getting that anxiety.
This is the energy. This is anxiety. Where is it? In your chest?
Yeah, I feel it's in my chest. Yeah, so
that's going to come up for you really quickly, and then we work on it.
Yeah, that needs to come out because, do you know why that needs to come out? Because I've had children, so anyway, I used to go around, see the line, and then have my read it out. She used to pick on me and make me do another line because I feel that she used to know what I used to do. So, oh my God, I haven't seen that other line. Or she'll go back on me. Horrible teacher, horrible, right? And I struggled, and that's not making me. Yeah, she'll go, that's not making it better for me.
No,
I wouldn't be like that with my children.
But
I literally feel that you are born to read, you are born to be good at maths, you are born. If we were all the same, then it's not. We're all born to be different things. Like, you've either got it or you haven't. One of my friend's daughter came round and she was sitting reading a story to Frankie. She's the same age as my son. And I couldn't believe it. She was reading better than me. And I couldn't believe it. And I said to my friend, do you read at home, like every night? Because you know what it's like. It's like, I try, but with one of mine it doesn't go down well, and with the other one it does. Every child's different. And she said, no, I've never once, because I don't want to be like that. I want, when she's home, she's at home. She goes to school for that many hours a day, which I totally get, right? So she's got it. She can just read. So now, you're doing your new course. I'm starting a new course, which is well out of my comfort zone. I never thought I would be learning how to be a Pilates instructor.
I can't wait for that.
I feel like I'm doing it because you're doing it and I'm doing one, and I've got to do this because you're doing it.
I learned about that. And apparently, the people that you're around and the energy that you give off, that's what happens. So they were saying even men that have got all these beards, like, that's come from
because you've got a beard, I want a beard.
Yeah, it's just like but this is what happens. It's an energy that you give off and it makes other people want to do it.
Oh yeah, well obviously, and hopefully if you're watching us, you're going to go and do a course.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because we've been doing our challenges and we've been getting people message that I want to do a challenge. So, but what I'm saying is, last 2 nights I've been sleeping, I think because I've spoke to you and I've let it out a little bit because I can talk to you and it's important to have someone that you can talk to. But I'm sitting there with a book and it's all coming back to me about my reading and it's coming back to me and I'm getting anxiety and I'm
it's an energy.
It's an
You've
energy.
got to stop saying anxiety.
It's an energy. It's not anxiety. It's an energy
that you're giving off from past memory and I need that energy there to be able to remove it.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. And what we'll do is we'll do a tapping. We'll record it. Obviously, if it gets a bit emotional.
Well, you just cut that bit out.
Cut that bit out.
But it needs to be emotional because it's got to come out.
It needs to come out.
It's an emotional freedom technique where you're releasing it out of your body.
But it's good. You've got to do this. You've got to do this. So we're both doing new things.
Yes.
Which is great.
100%.
We are going for it, haven't we?
We are going
January,
for it.
We're in February,
we're going to be
challenges.
Breezing into March. Like
skating. I've booked a trip. Going skiing.
I'm going to Iceland in March. You're going away. You go, I go, you go, I go.
Amigos.
It's like, what are we going to do in March?
I I thought to myself, when I was 30, world. I thought that this was just my life. I'm just going to be mum. I'm 30 now. You know, I'm old. So there's no point. Who am I? And like literally,
who are you?
Who am I? But in this space,
I
I'm
might do
like,
something else at 40.
I might do something
and then
else,
again at
Lisa.
50, and this is, you know.
It's like I'm a young, independent woman.
One of the things that we also learned on the course was that, you know, you've got to let the energy flow, and the energy that you're putting out there in the universe.
Oh, I'm
is
flowing my energy, and I hope I'm giving it to everyone right now.
March is going to be great.
Oh, I'm feeling it, Lisa.
Summer.
You wait for this spring.
Imagine summer. And then we'll be mega depressed when it comes to November.
No, we're not. No, we are not. We're going to be high.
Yeah.
I am high as a cat.
I'm going to be like ice bathing down to 0 by the time we get to summer, because I'm still only on 6 degrees. And it's cold.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to go. Right, so listen, I've hurt my knee. I was doing the running every day for 30 days, which I've really, really loved. The reason why we did this challenge is to keep in a buzz for February. I've hurt my knee, and I'm training for high rocks as well, which I'm doing with Ash and my partner. And I just went for it. I think I just did a bit too much in one go.
I'm not surprised. If you even pause, like, oh my God, she's
pushing.
pushing.
And I beat him, didn't I?
On the
couldn't do the wall balls though. I'm going to get knocked out by that ball. At the gym, at David Lloyd, I need to try doing that.
I have to say, and this is like big credit to you, so your head's going to be so big now, that if you'd have not made me, but encouraged me to do the ice bath every day, I would never have done it, even though it's been out there, and I'm like, I want to. So it really helped me. I have never felt so good.
Aww.
And I
have to see that.
I have to bring that.
You haven't had a drop. You haven't had a drop.
No. And I was getting up to do that course, missed a weekend, doing my emails on my lunch break at that course for my current job.
Yes.
Coming back 7 o'clock, getting in, only like 2 hours with the family, and then like back to sleep, back out at 7.
You've like showed us.
So I just feel that everybody should find a friend that encourages you. I just think it's like,
I know.
Go get that person.
And then I want you to get that friend and say, right, it's raining, it's miserable, it's February, let's get something booked in the diary. Do something. It could be just a trip to the cinema. Go and have a giggle with your friend.
Do something with your friend, but then encourage each of us to do a challenge.
Do
because
a challenge.
I feel like in that 30 days,
well,
I'm what day are we? 22, 23?
22.
I'm
going to
get of my. That's it. It's part of my thing.
I know.
Part of my thing.
But I wouldn't run every day though.
No, but you're doing too much. I mean, running is a great challenge for anybody that does nothing else.
All I should have said is move my body every day, because now I'm doing Pilates because I've got to practice with the new course.
But you never knew that when you said it.
I didn't know that, but it's fine. I'm not going to lie though.
It's not like you've gone, sorry, I've not ran because I've been eating McDonald's every day.
No.
So it's very, very different. I personally want going back to a good eating habit for my next challenge.
No,
I need you to be on me with that.
Alright, so that's Lisa's next challenge. My next challenge is going to be to craft. I've taken a step back, and I don't want to.
But also your challenge is also that you're doing a course and you're learning for a longer period than I have, so you can't beat yourself up.
No, I can't. I've got to be careful. So maybe my challenge should simply be to add in Pilates.
If you want to craft, why don't you just make something in that month?
I know, but then like you said, I need to stay focused.
Head down, so daily would be part of your Pilates.
Like, listen, I've got to be a Pilates teacher. Like, they're really flexible. So I went and did a class yesterday, and we're lying down on the floor, and you've got the Pilates teacher. Right, I've got to show you this. So you've got the Pilates teacher on the floor, like.
Is that even going to be picking you up?
I don't know. I've got an itchy leg. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm going to check that you can actually see her, because otherwise that would be so funny if you can't. Can't see your toes.
That's fine. I'm going to put my leg up.
Yeah.
See my leg?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm lying down on the floor, right, like this. Yeah. Can you see?
Yeah.
and then I put my leg up.
Yeah.
Now this Pilates teacher, right?
Straight legs.
It's got such a
Yeah.
lovely straight leg.
Yeah.
And then there's me like.
Yeah. Because that Pilates teacher doesn't lift 190 kg on a sled.
Pilates teachers are really flexible.
Yeah.
You know, get their legs up here. Look at me.
That's quite good though. You want to see mine?
Really? Let me see yours.
So before I started the gym, before I started this gym that we go to,
Colour one.
I could get my legs straight.
Oh.
And so this is why I need to do
Right,
Pilates.
show me yours.
Do you need to check?
Here, no, come back here. Yeah, right there. Here. Let's see if you can get
Mine
me
and
to it.
you.
Yeah, go back a bit. Yeah, right, go on
So
then.
what we're doing is straightening that.
Yeah, can you straighten it? Oh, yeah, it's quite good.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh.
And then I used to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, now go all the way. Oh, see, that's good though. Look at you. You're doing all right.
So stop it, because I'm not used to do it. Wow!
Oh, look at us go. Look, we came down on the floor and everything. Blimey.
Even my kids can't do that. Before I started doing hot yoga, my toes, I could never go any further than that.
So,
Like, all tight there. So when Fran becomes this Pilates instructor,
I know.
I'm
You're happy.
a little bit excited about that.
People are gonna cut. Yeah, I'm excited about letting rid of. I'm happy in life though. I'm happy.
But you don't know what you've tracked.
All right, yeah.
That
try,
we need
yeah.
to release.
We'll release. Well, because like I said, little things are coming out.
Yeah.
Right. So you're doing a course. I'm doing a course. She's tapping the chair there. It's just in you now. She's going to be tapping everything.
I know this morning I was like, I feel a little bit
Oh,
overwhelmed,
really?
and I was like, yeah, so good. So good for children. So good for children.
Yeah. Someone said to me, you're not giving up on a bad day. When you give up, when you give up on a good day, then that's okay.
And all good. It's great that they're watching mum and dad.
Yeah, they came to the exercise with
my
us.
kids, even though I'm older, get me. You see me going to the gym
Yes.
and looking at what I'm eating, and you know I'll go 10-15 days without having a drink and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
because
and
I
they
want
see
them
it,
to
be like
not
that.
see me, you know, downing a bottle of wine every night and
Yes.
eating 10 Mars bars a day.
No, like you're great. You're doing a new course at 51. You could just be like, nah, don't worry about it. Like this is great.
Also, I was going to say, oh, thanks.
Yeah, you do. You inspire me, Lisa. Oh, look at our heads. They're massive. We're both sitting here like, oh.
One of the things that I also learned on the course is the way that you interact as parents.
Yes.
And the way that Ash would hear the way that he may speak to you or the way that you may speak to him, and the same that goes on with this house, is that your kids are learning how to, so Jack's learning how to speak to his mum in the way that Paul speaks to me.
Yes, which is very
and
true.
it's so important that
I told Ash straight
you're-
away that. So just think of that. Think of that at home. Well, how are you spoken to by your partner?
So your sons are going to learn how to speak to a woman and
Yes.
how to behave
By
around a
picking it up
wife
right
and how
now.
to by picking. Ashley's teaching the boys
Yes.
how to how the boys should speak to
Yeah.
you, but also their future
Because-
girlfriends.
Yeah.
So
No,
the
we are
interaction
quite.
that you
No,
have,
yeah,
if
we
you're
are
loving
quite on it.
together. They see that dad holds mum's hand.
It's I'm 30, you're 50.
So
That's
there you
one
go.
story over and out. Bye,
Over and
Lisa. Can't wait. See you next time.
Adios.